Alright, so let's look at colored pencils, okay? If you are an online learner, a newer online learner, you have an 8-pack of colored pencils. If you are started off the school year as an online learner, you have loose colored pencils that I gave you broken up from a class pack that I had in my cupboard because my supplies were taking forever to come in. Alright, so let's look at using colored pencils. Alright. We're looking at our complementary color project, okay? So complementary colors are colors that are across from each other on the color wheel, all right? So I'm gonna pick, I think I will use, I usually use blue and orange. I don't know why, but I always go to blue and orange. I think this time I'm gonna use red and green, all right? So I'm gonna get out red, and I'm gonna get out green. I'm putting the box away. I don't need them. I need these two colors. All right. Pencil sharpener would be good. Colored pencil doesn't erase super easily, but you might also want your eraser. Let's take a look at what we can do with these two colors. All right. So here we go. All right. So it's not that I don't think you know how to use colored pencils. I want to show you a couple different ways to use colored pencils. All right. For the most part, I see a lot of this. And that's what I get when students color things, which that's not bad, depending on what you're going for. As a middle schooler, I would be looking more for the control over the colored pencil. And so what I do is I color in more of an oval-like fashion. Okay, my pencil is going like this, and all I'm doing is making ovals, and it fills in a lot better. It can give it that more smooth quality. And the more I layer it, the darker the green gets. And guess what? My hand does not hurt. All right? When I tell students who have colored like this, hey, you need to go back and you need to fill it in better, and then they keep going like this, there's always some lines, and you see how this is messy and this is more clean. So depending on what you're coloring and how you want it to look, okay, so that's one thing about colored pencils. All right, so let's look at a couple colored pencil techniques, okay? There's this, filling it in with a solid color. Now we also have what we call hatching. Hatching is taking your colored pencil and going and making lines in one direction. Okay? I did not make very dark lines, and that's very hard to see. Let me do that again. So hatching is making lines that all go in the same direction. All right? Now, if I had a big area that I wanted to fill in and I was going to do hatching, I would use lines that fill in the whole space. All right? Now, the closer I put my lines together, the darker it looks. The farther apart I put my lines, the lighter it looks. Okay? So, if my lines are really close together, they're going to take on a darker look than if I spread them out. Okay? Now, yes, if I don't put a lot of pressure with my colored pencil, I can pack in the lines and still have it look really light, okay? So depending on what I'm going for, I can make that a very light red color and have all sorts of hatch lines, and until you get nice and close, you have no idea. All right? So that's hatching. All right, hatching, going one direction. And you don't have to go at you can go like this too. Two, 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 two. You can go up and down. You can go left to right. Okay? But hatching is going one direction, okay, with those hash lines. Then there is cross hatching. Cross hatching is where we have that same idea of that line. Hatching. Okay, we're going to hatch. And now we're going to cross hatch by going, well, this is a diagonal line, so I'm going to go. And I can make it darker by putting those lines closer together, or I can make it lighter by separating those out. All right? So I can get dark by filling in those lines really close together. I can make it look lighter by having less of them. Okay? Hatching. All right? Or excuse me, cross hatching. I can also use, I could use both of my colors. I don't want to mix red and green for my complementary colors. I want red and I want green and I want red. Okay, I don't want them to mix. If I have a color, let's say that I want to use yellow green, or no, not yellow green. Maybe I want to use yellow orange. So I'm going to get out my yellow, and I'm going to get out my orange. Okay, I have my yellow and my orange, and I'm using one of my complementary colors is yellow orange. So I'm using yellow orange and blue violet. So I need to make yellow orange because I don't have the yellow orange. Okay, so what am I going to do? I'm going to start with my yellow because it is my lightest color, and I'm going to color neatly. I'm going to fill in the whole shape that I need to very lightly with yellow. Then I'm going to take my orange and again, very lightly, I'm going to fill it in with orange. Okay? And then take my yellow and I'm going to add some more yellow to it. Okay? I might need to go, okay, maybe I need a little bit more orange. Maybe I want a little bit more yellow. And I'm going to layer that, ta-da, until I get the yellow-orange that I want. Okay, so I can layer the colors and blend them to make some of those tertiary colors or those intermediate colors that I don't have, okay? Always start with the lighter of the two colors. So that's yellow-orange, so I started with yellow-orange. Red-orange, if you have the 8-pack of colored pencils, you don't have red-orange. So you would want to start with orange because orange would be lighter than red. Red-violet, again, you'd want to start with red because red is lighter than violet. Blue-violet, those are both about the same. Start light. You could use either color to begin with. Blue-green, you may or may not have, I can't remember. I would start with the blue and add the green. Yellow-green, yellow is lighter. I'd start with yellow and add the green, although you might have a yellow-green unless you have the 8-pack, okay? So that's mixing the intermediate or the tertiary color. All right, so we have, how do we color neatly? Ooh, look up close, you can definitely see the difference in the quality. We have hatching, we have mixing of colors, and we have cross hatching. All right, hatching, cross hatching, and then there is the layering of colors. That's a technique in itself, okay? So that mixing of colors. Now, with our complementary colors, unless you have a tertiary color, So unless you have yellow orange, red violet, blue green, or yellow green in your complementary colors, then you don't really need to worry about this, okay? If it's something that you just want to try out, then cool, try it out, definitely. Not on your project, but try it out, because that will benefit you if you just want to try it out. But I don't want to see a mixture of red and green on your red and green complementary colors, because that's not following the directions, okay? So we have the color layering, the color just of one color. It looks nice and neat. Hatching, cross hatching. These work with more than just colored pencils, okay? Hatching and cross hatching, they work with pens, they work with markers, crayons, oil pastels, paint. You can do this. I don't see as much of this in painting unless maybe you're trying to get some sort of woven look in some sort of cloth, okay? So, colored pencils. How do we use them? Maybe some things to stay away from, and some things to try.